Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakodash, Barakata. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to Ya'akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Salat. This is the brother Raya with another video. And I'm going to start it off with Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And as the men of GMS or Great Millstone keep saying, World War III, or that Battle of Armageddon in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is that Middle East region, is inevitable. Nothing can happen to possibly avert that prophecy from coming to its fulfillment. Because you got a lot of clowns out here that think that since there hasn't been a direct conflict between major powers since the end of World War II, that things are going to continue to be relatively peaceful. But y'all are sadly mistaken. The world's falling apart all around you. And the article I'll be reading from is on zerohedge.com, and the title reads, "The major attack on Syria followed Putin-Erdogan agreement for demilitarized zone in Idlib, and with an attack on Syria happening during this Putin-Erdogan demilitarized zone agreement, that's just Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai slapping these heathens in the face for thinking that they can avert his prophecies from coming to pass." And this brings me to Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. "Consider the work of God, for who could make that straight which he hath made crooked? Or who can avert my prophecies from coming to pass? Or who can stop my word from going out?" The world once again was taken to the brink of World War III Monday night, and the situation is still extremely dangerous. A massive, wide-ranging assault on multiple Syrian provinces, including the coastal cities of Latakia and Tartus, occurred Monday evening, reportedly by Israel and possibly with the help of France or the U.S., though the Pentagon is denying any U.S. assistance during the assault. With Syrian and Russian air defenses responding during the over hour-long attack, which targeted, among other things, an alleged chemical weapons research center, and in the confusion of the missiles across the sky, a Russian maritime patrol plane was shot down with 14 personnel on board. The Pentagon is claiming it was Syrian defense which accidentally downed the plane, while Russia is pointing out its radar observed a French frigate firing in the area just before the plane went down. And I've got an article which is an update on this situation from antiwar.com, and the title reads, "Russian DM, Israeli warplanes caused shoot-down of Russian plane near Syria, 15 troops killed." The Russian Defense Ministry has issued a statement Tuesday clarifying the fate of an Il-20 plane reported shot down off the coast of Syria the night before. Officials now confirm it was shot down by a Syrian S-200 missile, but that it was the fault of Israeli F-16 warplanes. 4 Israeli F-16s attacked Syria's coastline from offshore, and the defense ministry says the jet used the larger Russian surveillance plane as cover during the attack. And when the air defense system tried to target the Israeli attackers, they hit the Russian plane by mistake, killing 15 Russian service members. And this brings me to Proverbs 21 verse 1. "The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will." And the Most High put the spirit on these Russians not to retaliate against these Israelis, to build up the pride of these Israelis and make these Israelis believe that they can keep attacking Syrian, Iranian, and possibly even Russian targets with impunity. But the Most High's got these Israelis in a trick bag, because these Israelis are going to be the ones that's going to set off that powder keg that's going to have all these nations come against each other in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. "Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom," which is the biblical name for the so-called white race, "and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." And that least of the flock is speaking of those Amalekite Israelis in the land of Israel right now. They're the smallest tribe of the nation of Edom, and they are going to draw out these other nations, because with these Israelis thinking that they can keep attacking targets, that they can keep attacking Syrian and Iranian targets with impunity, they're eventually going to make that one wrong move that's going to spark everything off and draw all these other nations out to fight against each other, such as the United States, Russia, China, France, the UK, Turkey, what have you. Regardless, this is an incredibly dangerous situation which puts world powers closer to major war, and crucially, the whole event came immediately after Russia and Turkey announced they've agreed to establish a demilitarized zone around Idlib, again, for who can make that straight, which the Most High hath made crooked. The Russian Ministry of Defense announced just hours before the reported Israeli attack was initiated that Russia and Turkey have agreed to establish a 15 to 20 kilometer demilitarized zone along Syrian government positions. This means the widely reported Syrian-Russian offensive is off for the time being, though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come and not tarry, according to the Russian MOD. But this raises the following questions. Given the timing of Monday night's escalation, with Putin negotiating for a world power de-escalation over Idlib after the U.S. threatened attack, was Monday's attack part of an Israeli, and mention how they noticed Israel first? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and Western allies' strategy for keeping regime change in Damascus on the table. Why escalate now? Because Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is bringing this major prophecy to its fulfillment. This, at the very least, appears a conscious effort to keep the fires burning in Syria, to prevent Putin from being in the driver's seat, and to continue to provoke hostilities with the Tehran-Damascus axis, and to further keep alive the possibility of the eventual military ouster of Assad. After Monday's meeting with President Erdogan in Sochi, Putin related to reporters the details of the Russian-Turkey-Syria demilitarization deal. At the meeting, we discussed in detail this situation in the Idlib governorate and decided to establish a 15 to 20 kilometer wide demilitarized zone along the contact line between government troops and armed opposition by October 15, 2018, and evacuate radical militants, including Jabhat al-Nusra, he said. Putin explained that at the Turkish president's initiative, there will be a planned withdrawal from this zone, heavy weapons, tanks, multiple missile launchers, artillery systems, and mortars of all opposition groups by October 20th. And this is all just futile, because just like those past ceasefires and peace agreements, they fell apart, and then all these combatants rushed back into particular areas and continued fighting each other. Control in the demilitarized zone will be exercised by mobile patrol groups of Turkish units and units of Russian military police, Putin said. He added that the sides agreed to resume transit traffic along the Aleppo-Latakia and Aleppo-Hama highways by the end of 2018, also at the initiative of the Turkish side. Russia and Turkey are working closely to resolve the Syrian crisis, to strengthen the ceasefire and improve the humanitarian situation, Putin said. Putin further said the deal involves Syria agreeing to coordinated solutions, but that the details of the deal are still being worked out with Damascus. In general, the Syrian leadership supports this approach, he said. We will hold additional consultations with Syrian authorities soon enough. Russia and Turkey reiterated their commitment to continue anti-terrorism efforts in Syria and in any of its forms or manifestations, Putin stressed. We agreed that practical implementation of the steps we plan will give a fresh impetus to the process of political settlement of the Syrian conflict and will make it possible to invigorate efforts in the Geneva format and will help restore peace in Syria. Putin also emphasized that the sides will work together to root out terrorists across Syria. But given Monday night's massive escalation, it doesn't appear Israel or its Western allies want to see this deal take effect. But chiefly, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is not going to allow any of these peace processes to come to pass, because that he's not going to allow his prophecies to go out void. And this brings me to Isaiah 55 verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. For who shall make that straight which the Most High hath made crooked? So none of these heathens can stop that battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat from taking place. And now I'm going to close it out with Joel chapter 3, verse 9 through 12. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and not peace, no ceasefires or demilitarized zones. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, such as the United States, Russia, France, the UK, China, the state of Israel, Turkey, or what have you, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And Jehoshaphat means Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So the Most High's word is not going to return unto him void. This major prophecy and battle will come to its fulfillment. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim were edified. We're in double overtime right now, so just keep pushing this word as hard as you can. I'm going to say Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala. Till next time, Shalom.